So today we're celebrating 50 years of Pcmf, concepted in 1973. And it's such a privilege that it's still going strong. I know we have a lot of catch up from the ladies who are 100 years plus, but we're still coming. Chaplain, elders, leaders, members of UK PCA Parish, our esteemed visitors, and those watching us online, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of UK PCA Pcmf, I hereby welcome you all, not only to join us in the culmination of the 50-year celebration that's taking place, but also an incredible special week that we've had that culminates today, as we celebrate what we call the Golden Jubilee of 50 years. It is such an honor to recognize three industrious men who concepted the PCF in 50 years ago. The first one, as you all know, was the Right Reverend Dr. Gatu, Reverend Dr. Kibisho, Reverend Kanya, who are all departed, and we always respect them. And currently the office is held by Reverend Kaira. These men have and continue to work with the church to fulfill the mission of Pcmf. As we evaluate the progress over the last years, let us take encouragement from our theme, which is taken from the book of Joshua 13:1. When the Lord said to him, "You're growing old, and much land remains to be conquered." As men, allow us to be true servant leaders and to continue building upon the foundations that have already been started and laid before us. We cannot settle down now on what has been attained, but rather we have to continue to building up and create a safe environment for the next generation that comes after us. Gentlemen, let us be encouraged to do more and continue to exploit God's kingdom without excuses. For as believers, we are not allowed to retire from the Lord's vineyard. The Pcmf would like to thank the chaplain for your fervent support to the PCA, the elders, the LCC, and all the leadership of the church, mostly the Women's Guild, which has always stood with the man, and the youth ministries. The fellowship in the UK has been in existence since 5th November 2016 under the parish of UK PCA. It is a men's fellowship with inspiring to call the lead and unite and bring men together as a team for the growth of the church. This is in the spirit of transforming men through Christ, seeking to worship God in truth, spirit, and to govern its affairs in line with the ethos set out by the PCA Practice and Procedures Manual. The growth of the PCA has resulted in extending the Pcmf across the country. The Secretariat now encompasses leaders from across the country. We are led by our chaplain, Reverend Jesse, our patron, Elder Amos, myself, our chair, the Vice Chairman, Peter Ngahu, is from Peterborough, Secretary Peter Martins is from Manchester, Tony Kirby, the Vice Secretary, from Milton Keynes, Treasurer Duo from London, Vice Treasurer Bonanganga here from London, and then we've co-opted members Stephen Jeroge, who start there for finance, Philip Mora from Manchester, Paul Otieno from Milton Keynes, and Kennedy Nganga from Peterborough. Please note those two are two different Kennedy Ngangas. We have Kennedy Nganga, who is a treasurer from London, and a Kennedy Nganga from Peterborough. We also take into account to recognize the Secretariat that has also laid the foundation of where the Pcmf stands today. Asanteni sana. This year has been a poignant year for the Pcmf. Sadly, the first time in the history of the PCA, Pcmf has lost a member. We cannot forget George Shege, fondly referred to as CK, a very loved member of the Pcmf from Milton Keynes, who sadly passed away this year after a very long illness. May this serve as a living tribute to him. The membership of the fellowship has seen an impressive growth spanning the United Kingdom. These has included Pcmf, but also the YPCMF and the junior Pcmf that you've seen today. Total membership of the Pcmf at the moment stands in 64, YPCMF the youth 17, and the junior Pcmf that you've seen today 8. In the Pcmf register, fully commissioned members who adore the red jacket are 28, and half commissioned members who adore the half jacket like the young man there can, it's only one. He's the only one in the country. We appreciate it, yeah. What I would like to add about Ken, which is not on my report, he's nurtured another young man who was mentioned today, and I'd like to recognize him today, Chris Simama. Okay. This man, we nurtured him from the junior Pcmf that you've seen. He's a young man we're very proud of. He does our worship, he leads our service, and most importantly, he does the sermons on our behalf. They understand my language. In 2017, the Pcmf requested the elders, the session, if it could be allocated a slot to be leading the service. I can proudly state that we've been given that, and the men have evolved and grown in what we call service leadership. And it's this opportunity I'd like to thank the session for that. Not only has it brought in the growth with the men, the most important aspect has been the trickling down of skills, knowledge, and leadership to the young man you see sat there. It's been a huge development. The men continue to offer breakfast. Those are some of the activities they've done every first Saturday of the month. The men have continued to play major activities in the church. The men have also extended massive missions, visiting the sick, the bereaved. And this is not only confined to the PCA. Men have extended their tentacles to other members of the society. Men have also started, which was a very difficult job, of getting men to attend a seminar outside London. It's very difficult to get men to congregate together on a weekend, but God has been great. These men are able to stay away for a weekend. We've had the first retreat for men and this young man, which we're very, very grateful. Thank you very much. Since 2017, the UK Pcmf has been educating boys in Kenya. Each year we have 3 young men. And this year we've had the first lot admitted to Kenyatta University when we took them with scholarships from their parents. It's something that we're really proud of as Pcmf. The mission is to help. Pcmf is established on mission. That is our role. The milestones we've achieved till date, the most important milestone since 2016 is something that we don't take lightly as PCA. Is having what we call an in-house chaplain. This is what we call a development. The knowledge, the experience, and the wisdom that we've accounted from the chaplain has been immense. And on behalf of Pcmf, Chaplain Negado, I'll be putting Kikuyu translate. In 2018, I had a meeting in Kenya with the national office and the moderators. And Pcmf UK was acknowledged as a part of the PCA family. And what you can see here, this you only get when you're an affiliate of PCA. So men in this house should know they have a place to belong. We belong somewhere on the basis of that flag. And that's why the flag is standing up there today, to indicate who we are. The UK PCA continues to attend the national conferences each year. We are always invited in Kenya. And this year we'll be sending a representative, which has always happened annually in February from the 22nd to the 25th. Having said that, as with every organization, you only talk about the positive. Is what are the challenges? And you need to address challenges head on and confidently. The challenges in the UK PCF has been hosting men together. And we all understand how UK is. It's very difficult on its own. But most of us are shift workers. So it's always very difficult to synchronize meetings for the men. I'm not making excuses here for men. However, I believe as men, it is our responsibility to see how we can address this going forward. Because it's not about my generation. It's about forging forward for the next generation. As we look forward from tomorrow, the Pcmf will continue having retreats, which happens every year. Our retreat is coming up in the month of May. The Pcmf, as I mentioned earlier, will be sending delegates to Kenya. We'll be forwarding our programs, which has to be integrated with Kenya. Most importantly is standing up for the boy child. This is a calling to the men. It is our responsibility as men to nurture the boy child. It is our responsibility to stand up with them. The way we were gifted when we grew up, my generation understands, is for us to impart the same on the boy child. We're in a very different country from the way we were brought up. We're in a country where we have to give back what we were resourcefully given by our forefathers. Most importantly as well, is continuing what we've called the ROPES program. The Rite of Passage program is for both the boys and the girls. It's a program that's been taking an event in Kenya every day. This year we had the first annual one, and we'll continue doing one that. And I'd like to thank the Women Guild for they really worked very well with us in presenting the program. The essence now is the Guild and the Pcmf has to work together to take into account not only the boy child, but the girl child as well. So the annual conferences for the ROPES program will be taken forward each and every year. As I come to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, mine is to thank you all for the support that you've given us the whole year, and most importantly, the support that you gave us this week. It was a huge turnout each and every day. Asanteni sana. And for the men, tumeitwa tufanye nini? Ya nani? Akiita, kazi kwisha.